It's like the adult version of playing with your food.
All right, you have to play with your food.
Churchill Downs is iconic and known for the Kentucky Derby, but we can't forget about the Kentucky Oaks.
Absolutely.
What is your favorite song in honor of Sounds of the City?
New York, New York.
You have something very unique and different for us today. It's a levitating dish. This is a party.
Right?
In my mouth right now. There are so many different flavors that hit you the second you take the bite. We're standing outside right now. Some people might be wondering why we are here, but that's because this is where the process begins.
This is where it all begins.
So there you have it, a couple of beer-drinking pigs and a must-stop if you're ever down here in St. Croix. Does that say it makes you feel like dancing? Teach me some moves.
Let's go. One,
All
two,
right.
three. You definitely better drink it than me.
Hi everybody, Eva Zaccaria here for the Daily Meal. I have Johnny Uzzini alongside me today in the kitchen. Chef, you're a cookbook author, you're a TV personality, and you're an award-winning pastry chef, and you have some exciting things on the horizon.
I do indeed. I have a new partnership with Le Méridien. Essentially, we're going to go global and be inspired by culture, by food, by everything and anything that comes across our paths. It's an Eclair program. It's called the Eclair Diaries, and we're going to travel around the globe working with Le Méridien and working with the Le Méridien chefs and just start creating new and exciting recipes.
And you mentioned you're going to be traveling around the globe. You begin in the United States in San Francisco, don't you?
We're going to visit the farmers markets, we're going to go foraging, we're going to visit lots of local chocolate makers and pastry shops and bakers and really kind of pull inspiration for anything and anything, and then we're going to create a recipe specifically for San Francisco.
In order to join in this partnership with Le Méridien, you're also a member of LM100. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
It's a collaborative of like-minded artisans from all different categories where we come together, we share inspiration, we share creativity, and we all move forward together.
This is such a creative program that you're doing. Where are these eclairs going to be available?
So there'll be a set category of classic eclairs that will be in all the Le Méridiens globally, and then each region will have its own distinguished and distinctive flavors.
And speaking of flavors, these are coffee cardamom.
Yeah, so coffee and cardamom is one of those flavors that as I started traveling in Turkey and stuff like that, I was introduced to cardamom and how really flavorful and how well it goes with the flavor of coffee.
And this recipe is also available in your new cookbook, Sugar Rush, which is coming out this September. It teaches you everything from how to make caramel to how to make something as complicated as a brown sugar molasses cake. What was your inspiration behind creating a book for every skill level like this?
So the first book I came out with was called Dessert Foreplay, which was a snapshot of my tenure of Jean-Georges, and that was based on 4-part dessert, essentially collections, like fashion collections. The new book is actually a building block book. It's a foundation book. It's a book to kind of get people back into the kitchen and make them feel comfortable again, and it goes through all different categories where you're talking about a mousse or a dough or cakes or batters or, something as simple as why do we temper our butter? Why do we temper eggs? What happens when we don't? What happens when we do?
You're not restricting any diets in this book either. There are some gluten-free recipes.
Of course. As a restaurant pastry chef, we're often faced people with all different challenges, whether it's allergies or celiac or sugar allergies, whatever it might be. So we try to really kind of keep that in consideration and tell people like, okay, well, this is how you can work around that, So we definitely give a couple gluten-free recipes. We talk about substituting natural sugars like honeys versus, refined sugars.
Absolutely. And what is your favorite recipe?
I'm excited by things that have a lot of different textures and acid levels. So there's a coconut pineapple torte in here that's got a crisp meringue, a creamy pina colada cream, a grilled and charred pineapple. So it all kind of like all these different textures and flavors really come together with a crunch, and I just love that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Hi everybody, Eva Zaccaria here with Clinton Kelly, a co-host of ABC's The Chew. Clinton, welcome to the Daily Meal Kitchen.
Thank you so much. Excited to be here.
We're so excited to have you, and you have a great springtime, summertime recipe to share with us today.
I do. This is a mango chicken salad that is so delicious. Now, you've probably had chicken salad, 100,000 times in your life?
Yeah.
How many times have you had it with mango?
Never.
Never. You're going to have it today.
Excellent.
It's going to be your first time. It's really super simple, too. We're using a rotisserie chicken that we just sort of shredded, so we didn't have to take the time to roast the chicken. But I always say, if you're roasting a chicken, just roast 2. I do this every time. If there are only 2 of you having roast chicken, just make a second chicken because you can always find 100 ways to reuse the chicken.
That's a great tip.
Yeah, so we've got some rotisserie chicken here, and we're going to make a dressing with basically some sour cream. Now this is a half a cup of sour cream and some olive oil mayonnaise. So it's healthy as well.
Yeah.
It's good for you. All the good stuff going in here.
And the mangoes are also very healthy.
Mangoes are very high in vitamin C and very low in calories. How about I do the dumping and you can do the stirring?
Sounds great.
So you stir that together, and I've got a couple of tablespoons of lemon juice here. 1 tablespoon of Italian flat leaf parsley that we've chopped, and 1 teaspoon of fresh tarragon.
Delicious.
I love that licoricey taste there.
Yeah.
Some chopped green onions or scallions, and then some celery for a little bit of crunch. Okay.
Lots of greens, I love it.
Lots of greens, all good for you, all delicious. And now we're gonna take some chopped mango. So you peel the mango, slice the mango very thinly, and give it a little bit of a cut, and that all comes together like that. So then, once you get that all incorporated, we start folding it into the chicken. It's basically the meat from 1 small rotisserie chicken, all shredded up. So you put yours into mine.
Here we go.
Okay. Oh, you know what? Let's throw some salt and pepper in there too.
All right.
Nice big pinch of salt. That's one thing I learned after working on the chew.
Always season with salt
Chefs
and
use a
pepper?
decent amount of salt. Yes, always season. And don't be afraid to season with salt. But you know, always go a little bit less, you know, at first, and then you can always add more. It's hard to take that salt out if you oversalt.
I would be very impressed if you had a method for doing that.
Yeah, wouldn't that be good? So now here we have our delicious chicken salad. And then we could do this, we could serve this a variety of different ways. We could do lettuce cups, but I thought we could do endive here. So then we can just, you know what to do, when we take this endive off of here, and we can arrange this on this platter.
And you just scoop it in?
Just scoop it in. And I really like this idea for entertaining. If I'm having people over, I generally avoid a sit-down dinner for groups more than, say, 6 or 8. Because I think it sort of gets to be a little bit unwieldy, a dinner party that big. So I like to do heavy hors d'oeuvres. So this would be awesome for any sort of brunch or any sort of event that you're having this summer, like a graduation or a christening or a shower, something like that. So we just arrange these beautifully on the platter, just like that.
And they're so light.
So light. That's the other thing about this. Wait until you taste it. It's going to taste filling, but light at the same time. But that's enough for our party. Why don't we have one?
All right, I think that's a great idea.
I want you to taste this and tell me what you think.
Cheers. It's so good. It's
Right?
a little bit tangy, just the right amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of sweetness from the mango, a little hit of that. I'm feeling really generous, so I'm going to tell you where you can get this recipe.
Well, thank you.
You can get it at the Daily Meal, of course, but also at mango.org.
Clinton, thank you so much.
Thank you.